cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yo, I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave. 6 feet deep under, but my body won't decay, cause my messages are
in the channel, see these clowns in suits. Good citizens losing faith, starting to root. Candyman of the media, sweeten the loot. Government scandal, feeling like a bad spoof. Pushing my buttons, keep poking the beast. I can see through the front. Pushing my buttons. Love when you push, but these lies be corrupted. In the limelight, I bust on the scene. Like a wild meme, got 'em shaking on screen. East to the west, I'm the voice of the mean. Rabble rousing culture, becoming routine. Pushing my buttons, space scramble and stutter. Ain't nothing that trusting. Pushing my buttons, laugh at the lies, still the truth they be ducking. Citizens fed up, we're unstoppable troops. Truths like grenades bursting media loops. Parody headline, twisted illusion. Politicians tell, feel the confusion. Step in my shoes, see the crime on the laces. Expose the facade, call out two-faced races. Lying through teeth till they twist embraces. Public outcry, I'm raising the cases. Pushing my buttons, keep poking the beast. I can see through the front. Pushing my buttons. Love when you push, but these lies be corrupting. In the limelight, I bust on the scene. Like a wild meme, got 'em shaking on screen. East to the west, I'm the voice of the mean. Rabble rousing culture, becoming routine. Citizens fed up, we're unstoppable troops. Truths like grenades bursting media loops. Parody headline, twisted illusion. Politicians tell, feel the confusion. Citizens fed up, we're unstoppable troops. Truths like grenades bursting media loops. Parody headline, twisted illusion. Politicians tell, feel the confusion. Citizens fed up, we're unstoppable troops. Truths like grenades bursting media loops. Parody headline, twisted illusion. Politicians tell, feel the confusion. Citizens fed up, but unstoppable troops. Truths like grenades bursting media loops. Parody headline, twisted illusion. Politicians tell, feel the confusion. Citizens fed up, we're unstoppable troops. Truths like grenades bursting media loops. Parody headline, twisted illusion. Politicians tell, feel the confusion. Feel the confusion.
Fucking going outside.
It's just a goat.
What
Good
up,
morning,
everybody?
Aguilar. Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing? Divine Sorcerer. Holy crap. I haven't seen you in forever, bro. Good to see you. William L., good to see you. Welcome in. How's everybody doing today? Good citizen, what are you up to?
Oh, you know, just making them memes. Yeah. Dealing with the same thing over and over and over again. You know?
The definition of insanity.
I'm a
the
little
definition of insanity.
Yeah, I'm a little insane in the membrane.
Definitely the definition of insanity around here. I don't know. I think we need to come up with a new slogan for Aguilar.
Yeah.
Definitely need to come up with a new slogan for Aguilar.
Yeah, I think they did. Pretty sure they did. Right? I thought the slogan was the town's business isn't the town's business, but that changed, didn't it?
I think it did. I think it did. Did it change to this? Did it change to that?
Yeah, maybe so. Accountability is not the answer, I think, or something like that. They changed it to.
Oh. I thought it was transparency is not the town's business. No,
There is
it
no
wasn't
transparency. That word is like I think that's a vulgar word here.
Oh. Then what are we supposed to use?
I think
Oh, that's right. Oh, that's right. I got it, good citizen. The truth is not the town's business. The truth is not the town's business. I think we lost good citizen there for a second. Maybe for more than a second. Uh-oh. I think the feds got him. But yeah, I do believe the new motto is the truth is not the town's business. That is the new motto. Dorianne, great to see you. Brandon Mitchell, what's going on, bro? Good to see you in here. Road Dog, what's up, man? Long time no see. Good to see you. We also got Michigander. Maybe we came up with that slogan. I don't know. We come up with a lot of slogans, though. Yeah. It seems like GCM is having some technical difficulties right now, which is all well and good and great, grand, and wonderful. We always have technical difficulties. But yeah, we were gonna bring up a few issues, we wanted to ask some questions. So let me ask the audience here, everybody in chat and everybody, how does a town charge for services like gas and water if there is no gas and water hooked up to the house? Has anybody ever heard of that? If you have your gas and water shut off, do you still pay for gas and water? Apparently you do out here in Aguilar. Good to see you, Slow Burner. What's up, buddy? But yeah, apparently we here in Aguilar at the town hall, they estimate apparently a lot of people's bills. They like to estimate. So they don't even know if like they're charging them over, if they're charging them under. We have reports that people are getting charged for like 60,000 gallons in a month. That couldn't be a defective meter. No, not at all. Yeah, I'm pretty sure if they could, they would. But you've got people that are getting overcharged, undercharged, people that are getting charged for services that are not even connected to the house. All services are shut off. So how do you get charged for water that you're not using? I mean, they're not overcharging these people, but they're charging them the flat rate fee for no services. And then on top of it, they want to still charge for the gas supply rate, even though there's no meters attached to houses. I'm having a hard time trying to understand where all these charges and everything apply if you don't have services. Oh no, I Googled it. That's why I'm saying, Slow Burner. I want to know if anybody else has ever experienced this. I want to try and hear some personal experiences. Maybe somebody's had their water shut off and they still were getting charged for what. I mean, I'm trying to find, some stability in my investigation here, because really, I haven't heard that anywhere else except here in Aguilar. I would call it theft. I would call it theft. I mean, what's the point of red tagging a house that doesn't have any? I mean, are you really going to shut off services that are already shut off? How does that make any sense? Excuse me, I'm trying to find the post here so I can give you an example of what's going on, so that way you guys can have a somewhat of a visual of what's going on. All right, I found it, and we have John. What's up, buddy?
Hey, what's going on, you people? How's it going?
Oh, it's going. You know how it goes. Technical difficulties and still trying to find stuff that you can never find. You know how that goes.
All too well.
Right. All right.
So,
I think I found it here. I think I found it, John. We'll bring this up. So this is a tag that they hand out here in Aguilar. And basically it says that you're behind on services and whatnot. So again, this address here has had no services for a year. We have clear documentation that the water meter hasn't moved a digit, and there's no gas meter attached to this house either.
well, I guess my question would be, how can you charge somebody for gas and water if they got neither?
That's what I'm wondering. That's what I'm wondering. I'm wondering how the town can charge for services that aren't turned on to the house. I mean, I can understand maintenance fees. All right. Maintenance fees happen all the time. In fact, they get attached to the houses, whatnot, and so forth. You'll end up having to pay maintenance fees when you buy a house. I mean, that's a given thing, but almost $1,700 in a year with no services, those are some hella maintenance fees, man.
Sounds like what some would consider extortion to me, but what do I know?
Well, I mean, then you look at the bills that go along with this house, which we have not put up. We have not put up those bills. Those bills are nowhere to be found. So don't go searching Facebook for them, because they ain't there. They're part of an investigation right now, so they have to be kept confidential. You know about that confidential information, don't you, GCM and John? You know about that confidential information. We can't just be putting it out there to the public.
The same confidential information that the mayor and the rest of the board allowed to be broadcast all over Facebook last week. That private information.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that private information.
Yeah. It's amazing, huh?
Yeah. But I mean, we got permission to put out this red tag, and obviously it's out in public. It's out on the Facebook, and it just goes to prove a point that they are charging this property full services with no services turned on to it. So, and they're expecting it to be paid. So, John, let me ask you, what are they going to do if it doesn't get paid, John?
Well, I'm not an attorney, and I didn't stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night, but
It's a bill for a year.
let me see if I can break it down. Technically, they could put a lien on the property to try and collect their money. So that would mean that any point in time that you go to sell the house down the future, whatever, the town would get paid, and then whatever proceeds are left would go to the person selling the home or the owner of the red tag in question. The problem I think that the town is going to have is they would have to prove that these charges actually were provided to the homeowner. And I got to be honest with you, if no meter has been, one, we know that the meter has been removed as far as the gas one, and two, we know that the water meter hasn't moved one digit in a year. So both have been shut off. So you can't theoretically charge somebody for something that they don't have. So I don't know where the town is going to, I guess, quantify how they're going to be paid for this when there was no services provided. But hey, I guess when you do wrong, you just got to keep going, right?
Right? I guess you do. When you say a lie, people tell you all the time you need to stick to that lie. Even though you've got to add more and more and more to that lie to make it stick. And it ain't sticking. So I'm wondering how they're going to get around all this, John. I mean, we have proof that not only are they mischarging the citizens of Aguilar, and it's certain citizens of Aguilar. It's not all citizens, it's certain citizens. We have documentation of faulty meters all over this town. And we have documentation that they estimate a lot of stuff. And then we've been told that they actually have had an actual meter reading on a couple of people's stuff, but they swear that they've never been on the property to see these meter readings. So I don't know, John. I think the billing is all screwed up for some reason. I wonder why.
Maybe because they didn't follow their own town ordinance and put the meters out into the streets.
It's got to be. It's got to be the computer systems. It's got to be the computer systems, guys.
Well, Vern, are you sure you want to come up during this subject, Vern, or would you like to hold off and wait because this is concerning stuff about the town, Vern? And
no, I'll be careful what I answer, but yeah, I'll stay here.
You sure you want to be a part of this?
So yeah, Vern is on the council for the town of Aguilar. And so that's why you people's mentioning that, guys. Thanks for being here, Vern. We appreciate it.
Thank you for being here, Vern. We just want to watch your back, bro.
Transparency isn't an option the way we see it, and so we appreciate you, showing face and being here. And we understand certain things you can't say. That's fine. Do your best. That's all we ask of our council.
I didn't want to hurt Robert. If there's something I say that might hurt what he's doing, I'm definitely for. I believe that he was done wrong. I can say that, and I'll continue to fight for him. But I can't believe
how do you like the picture on the screen, Vern? That is for the other address. That's a bill for the other address now.
Is that the new one?
That's the trap house's new bill.
and they're saying you use 2 million gallons.
Oh, that's the other one.
Yeah, that's the other house.
That's the trap house bill that they put up. That's trap house bill.
This is the house, Vern, that does not have water,
No
does
services
not have
whatsoever.
gas, does not have any type of service other than maybe the sewer. But I mean, you can't really shut off the fucking sewer. So I don't understand. Like, and again, we said we can understand maintenance fees. Okay. But this is for a year's worth of no services, Vern.
Well, that kind of makes me question something else too, right?
Yeah, that sewer fee is not something that they could add on like that, because if you talk to Sarah about this, and I found this one out accidentally a couple of years ago, whenever they shut your service off, there's a sewer fee of what, $20 a month, something like that. But it doesn't come due for 3 years. So if they got all that added in there, that's a big mistake.
Well, they've got a lot of
They don't
stuff
make
added
mistakes,
in,
Vern. They don't make mistakes. I mean, that's why we keep them around. These guys are good at what they do.
Well, I think the last meeting I pointed out several mistakes they made.
No, you were wrong. You were mistaken, Vern.
Just as we were, Vern. We're mistaken. We're wrong. You know, we're the cause of all this. We're the ones that took all that money and made it disappear, Vern.
Yep.
If it wasn't
never happened if we would never showed up, Vern.
Right? If it wasn't
well,
for
if they would have listened to that video, hey, if they would have listened to that video, they would have seen that that was the day that Lady J and was that Mr. Amazing or Fantastic or something was there.
You keep saying video, but technically that's a clip.
Okay,
I have well over an hour of footage from that day, and we also have some more that we're going to request because the council member assaulted Mr. Amazing that day. We're gonna make sure we wrap that day up and get all that video. But we've got well over an hour already directly from the sheriff's department. Yes,
well,
sir.
that day alone was enough that they shouldn't have even went to Robert's house because they were angry over so much other stuff. They shouldn't have been involved in it. But that wasn't about Robert.
If you see the one I put out this morning, you'll understand the sheriff's department made it very clear that they technically was only there for one address and that anything needed to be done from the street was fine. Go get it done. Then they took that and decided they were going to go through my gate. Robert comes down and says, "Hey, I thought you guys only had paperwork for this address down here." And the cop says, "I don't know what the hell they're doing." And then I showed up and they all fucking scrambled. Yeah, they shouldn't have never been on this property at all. So that's all. I got all those videos too. Like I said, those are just clips, Vern. We're just priming it up, you know.
Well, one of the clips.
Hold on. I'm sorry to interrupt. Breaking news. We have some new vandalism. There's some new graffiti behind the bandstand here. I think the town really should get on finding out who did it. It's the N-word. It's the N-word behind the bandstand. Somebody needs to get on this and find out who did it and arrest them. I'm just saying, equal. We're all equal here, right?
That one's in paint, isn't it?
Josh, pull the clip up that Vern's referring to, if you would. And it's just a clip. That way everybody here can make sure that they're on the same page here with Vern.
Is that the one from the Facebook?
Yeah, there's one on the YouTube too. I just put one up this morning on YouTube as well. So there's those at least a couple clips out there already. Some little primer videos. Yeah, so because there's the one with Joe, and then there's the one I put up this morning. Yeah, that's the one I put up this morning. Play that one. That's fine.
Location.
Well, we're supposed to get that and make sure there's.
Go do it because
he's not letting us pull the tree. The meter's underneath that tree. So,
And do we need one for that house too? You said.
I'm only here for technically one address.
Okay. Yes, sir.
What you guys do on the street, you call if there's an issue.
Yes, sir.
But if you need to go read that, go read it now.
Okay, but we need to get the meter underneath that tree, and he won't let us in.
I can't do what you got to do on the street.
We need to get the read for that other house.
Yeah, the other white one. Go ahead and get the read off of that. Make sure it's locked up and not.
All right, you heard him say one address, and then it turns into two real fucking quick there, right?
Yeah, but I looked at that meter. I looked at that whole tree meter thing, and that tree is not on the meter.
No, it isn't. But I'm saying Joe just turned it into two houses right here. That's Joe's,
Right,
Joe's directive that give it. The cop says he's only here for one address. Okay. And then Jesse says, well, what about that other address? And Joe says, yeah, we need that one too. Right?
Yeah.
Well, in my opinion, here's the problem. Even if they were there for the one address, they still have to do everything at the street level. They can't go onto the property.
Right. Even the cop just told him. He says, hey, I get whatever you need to do from the street, you do from the street, bud. Like, I can't make him do nothing on his land.
That's right. Which is exactly what he explained to Joe, and he explained to Tyra when he told them they needed to get a signed judge's order or a warrant to get onto the property. They can't just go on the property.
We'll play that one in a minute. We'll finish this one, then we'll play that one.
Meter's been shut off since April. I don't know what they're doing, sir. We're just here to make sure everybody behaves.
Right. Well, my paperwork is for that time.
Just ignore it. Do your job. Don't say a word. Just
Jesse,
like that.
come on. Why you trespassing?
I haven't gone in the yard, TJ.
Oh, why are they trespassing?
We're just up. They're up here with utilities.
Hey, stay the fuck off my property. All these motherfuckers. No paperwork. Straight trespass. Anything you need to do from the street, you can do from the street. Does not include going on my fucking property, Joe. Stupid fucking piece of shit. Fucking piece of shit.
I had to let it play. I'm sorry. I had to let it play.
Yeah, he's a fucking idiot. Yeah.
Well, there's another one that you have out there that I've been looking for and haven't found it.
He's gonna play that one next.
Well, this is like one of the first ones where.
Yeah, I only got two clips out there, Ron. That was one, and here comes the other one. So there's only two clips out there. Like you say, I got plenty of footage there. Sheriff's Department didn't redact anything, so it's nice, clean footage. And we got multiple angles because there was multiple sheriffs there. So we're just we're just putting out a couple little clips to get it going. Then we'll likely end up doing a show on just that because it's an hour worth of video alone. So today wasn't the day for it, but yeah, they clearly know what they're doing there is wrong. And I mean, we just heard the cop say, I'm only here for one property. What you got to do from the street, you do from the street. And then they just decide to walk the fuck in right through my fence, right through my gate. And that's the same property that they're saying I now owe $1,600 and some dollars for services I don't even fucking have. So.
Well, I remember one time the police being there and they were saying, bitching about they got the right to go onto your property. And on your video, what it showed was they did go to the utilities, but Tyra and Joe and someone else walked around taking pictures of your house.
Yeah, that's a long time ago. I'm gonna have to dive deep for that one. But
well, that shows them police there, and you're fighting them on the trespassing. It made clear that they only have permission to go to the meter. Yet in the video, you could see them walking around the house taking pictures.
Right, and that's from about a year ago, Vern. I'm gonna have to dive deep to look for that video to play that video. But we've got this one here.
Joe, what are we going to do here?
Well, we have to dig it up and cap it off. We're not going to be on their property, but that meter is ours. It is state ours. And I need to pull it.
Is it worth this fight?
No, it isn't. But if I don't pull it, they can turn it back on. That's
Can you
service issue.
dig it up on the street?
We can dig it up on the street and tap it there.
Now hold on a second. He says we can't turn it back on. That meter hasn't moved. We've never turned. Nobody has ever turned anything on
Right.
at that
And
house.
he knows this. I also have him admitting to this, right? Like he knows this. Like he
No.
admits that it's never been tampered with, but they highlighted on the paperwork that they were trying to pass around saying tampered with.
Right. Now watch.
So that's 2 holes we're going to have to
What
do.
about you guys getting a court order to go in and pull the warrant? Pull the meters.
This should have happened to start with.
Well, then that's what I recommend. I'm not here.
It should have happened to start with. They should have had a warrant to start with.
That's usually how it goes. Otherwise, it's theft. You know what I mean?
Oh, they
It's a
don't. They
civil
don't
matter.
care. They don't care about theft. Theft is.
It's a civil
that's-
matter till you
that's
make
not
it
a
criminal.
thing.
Here's my issue. I'm not entering. Let me explain this to you first, Joe. Look at the signs. Okay. And I understand utility easements and all that, but when it comes to a point where the property owner is challenging this town or the city entering, then you guys have that's denial of your service, and you guys should go and get a warrant to pull it. That's
Can you hear the cop is trying to walk them through step by step, and yet they didn't even follow through step by step.
Oh, the kicker is by now they had already pulled the fucking gas meter, guys. And this cop didn't know that the gas meter had already been fucking pulled. He didn't
So
know
you-
that happened. He rolled up onto the scene after that had happened. They hurried up back there. Like nobody really knew it had happened. That was the first thing they hit. Okay. So he's being told this all after he's already snagged the fucking gas meter. And they're after 2 water meters now. He's gonna
So
have
you
to
have-
dig 2 holes in the road.
Yeah, and you have the sheriff sitting there basically saying at this point they have now denied services to Robert. That's a denial of service in an area that's got a monopoly. He can't go to a different company and say, "Hey, I need this." He's got to transfer over to a propane system. He can't just go to natural gas and keep his thing going the way. Now he's got to do a whole bunch of different repairs to get it all set up for propane service, which is costing him extra money. Not that they give a shit.
Is he able to put propane in without having a plumber come in and update the lines?
No, he's got to update
Well,
some
we
of the
looked-
li- He's
We
got to
looked,
update
and
some of
going
the line.
into the house is okay. That is up to standard. But he still has to change out all the orifices and everything like that, right?
Right.
So
Yeah, and as a homeowner, he could do that himself, and they're easy to do. I could help him with it if it ever comes to that.
Still, it's costing him money, Vern. It's costing him time. It's costing him effort. It's costing him in parts. Why should he have to deal with that? Why should he have to go
because
through?
this guy right here said so. This guy
Oh,
said
yeah,
so.
that's right.
Well, see,
And
but
wait a
if-
minute. Guess who's,
Wait a minute.
guess who's on that fucking phone he keeps picking up, guys? Take a fucking guess who is on that phone that he keeps picking up. And
Is
the cop's
someone
stopping
used to
him,
work
hey,
there?
Joe, hold on, Joe. Before you do that, Joe, because he's trying to make a phone call real quick, and the cop keeps stopping him. Joe. But who's on that phone, guys?
The same woman who targeted, harassed Robert for almost 5 years.
No shit, bro. Fucking sad, right?
No, it's typical. When you
Yeah.
can't silence the people, the best thing to do is to mess with them and try and make them disappear. And apparently that was the goal, was to make him disappear.
Well, I mean, part of the
She's sick of
goal.
their shit.
But we'll listen to the rest of this because the cop is actually giving out some pretty good advice to Joe.
just a plain and simple thing. If I were to do this in town and they would refuse us to allow to go in, I'd have to get an inspection warrant having us to go in to do that.
We're gonna go pull his, right? You motherfuckers are fucking.
I mean, and I understand pulling it on the streets of pain in the tail. Let me talk to you real quick, Tyra.
Okay. So before we get into the Tyra episode here of this video, you heard him. You need to get a warrant, regardless of what warrant. He told him, it's like, look, it's an inspection warrant. Go get an inspection warrant.
They're easy to get. It's not hard, especially for a town. They could have pulled that shit. We have our own fucking judge that we pay to do nothing. Nothing. This is the type of shit that you have them do, dummy.
Yeah. But
that judge only works against Vern. The last fucking case that judge heard was Burns.
3 years ago. And I got him through off the thing. He had to resign from it.
Right. Yeah. Well, she's not a part of this. Well, we're gonna say for public's sake, she's not a part of this anymore, but supposedly, allegedly, is maybe not.
Well, she's a big part of it still, because all this, if you take that one clip, and with Lady J being there, that was the day that all this shit happened up there, and no one should have went to his property in the first place. That was retaliation. It was harassment.
My opinion why she's still involved in this is because the town has still taken no steps to discipline her for any of these actions whatsoever. None of them.
Well, you know, and
So
that
makes
kind
the
of
town look terrible for this.
Well, it also raises the question of who was supervising her, and the only person that's above her would have been the mayor, who was recalled. So his failure to supervise any of the employees, including her and Joe, means that all three of those people should be on the hook.
Well, they closed the office that day, and they didn't open the office. But it's important because of the notice that he got. There was no chance for him to pay because the office closed and didn't open till like Tuesday.
Well, they didn't, listen. They didn't mind. He didn't matter. They already had what they wanted. They sent Joe out there to get the meter. He got the meter. He did what he was ordered to do, even though it was illegal. Even though they knew it was illegal.
Hold on, John. That was before Joe took the meter. So before Joe took the meter, there was a meeting, right? And Robert brought up the fact that they weren't letting him make a fucking payment arrangement. And then they're like, okay, well, come in and we'll make a payment arrangement. And they locked down town hall, so he couldn't do it.
Yep. Well, they, at the last meeting, I tried getting them to listen to the clip. And had the phone there, they wouldn't let me play it.
Oh, and I just want to point out this because there have been some people that have been posting things that I'm going to take exception with. I don't know about you guys, but for the morons in the room, right? The morons that live in this town that think that Robert did something wrong. Let's clarify something, okay? Anytime that Robert had an issue with any one of his bills got paid.
I did bring that up.
Whether they were paid late or not, they were paid. Okay. So for the morons in the room that sit there and go, well, he got what he deserved. No, he didn't. He was paying his stuff. Now,
and don't forget, this whole thing was done in dispute, openly and publicly. This was done intentionally on purpose, right? Because the citizens here are paying potable water prices for non-potable water, for one, okay? And now as the, 2 newspaper articles ago, you'll see the gas is nowhere near compliance, just the same as the water, right? And yet the citizens here are still paying full price for everything. Well, when there's a dispute in what you're paying for, or a protest in what you're receiving, that changes the dynamics of things, guys.
Well, and let's also reiterate here for Robert that Robert was willing to pay his gas bill. The problem here is that they lump in the gas and the water all in one bill. You can't go in and just pay the gas or just pay the water. And then on top of that, Robert's on disability. We have to remind everybody that Robert's on disability. He qualifies for LEAP. The problem is LEAP won't pay the bill because the bill is a conjoining bill. They're not going to pay that bill because they don't pay for water service. They pay for gas service.
And let's also point this out too for the people of the town and the imbeciles that are in the back row that can't hear or just refuse to hear, is that Robert not only was looking out for doing things for him, but he was doing things for the people of the town. When he made his initial demand for the town to rectify this situation, Robert put in there that all townspeople's bills would be separated from gas and water. So that they
all the way back to the
separated.
beginning. That's what he was trying to do, is get the bills separated. It's not okay. They're separate contracts. They're separate bills, but they're conjoined. So you cannot pay on one or the other. You have to apply it to both. And they dictate that.
And they're separate deposits also.
So yeah, like the meter for the gas has a different deposit and contract than the meter for the water. Different contract, completely different. But yet they're billed identical, the same bill, same shut off, same everything, completely different contracts. He's trying to rectify that, dispute that. And this is what he got for his, calling them out on their wrong, because they are fucking wrong. They're wrong. Guaranteed. Legally, they are wrong. You can't have two separate contracts and bill it as one. That's fucking stupid. That'd be like, the town itself has a gas bill. We pay a gas bill, right? We can bill that with the trash bill. Like, no, it don't. You couldn't pay them for your trash services.
Well, let me ask this, right? We know that Walsenburg provides gas to the town, right?
Yes.
Okay, so if Walsenburg provides gas to the town, they provide it and they send the bill to the town of Aguilar. Aguilar has to bring the water in. Those are two separate bills, aren't they?
Yes.
So why isn't the town doing the same thing for the townspeople?
In completely different books, completely different budgets, everything, bro. They're completely fucking different, but billed together. And that's how all this started. Between the water not being potable and it being billed together, that's what started this whole thing of being retaliated against. And now a year with no hot water, no heat, no nothing,
And the temperature's dropping out there.
Yeah, it was only 37 this morning outside.
Just a balmy 37.
The mayor's house is nice and toasty warm, I'm guessing.
Don't even get me started with that. There's so many different places to go with that.
Yeah, what's her fucking problem, dude? Like, she really thinks she's like queen for the day or something? Like, did you see how she was shaking her gavel at Josh, bro? Like, she was going off on him.
But,
remove him in the middle of his 3 minutes.
It's funny that the same person who expects everybody to follow her rules can't even follow her own rules. So as far as I'm concerned, she can pound sand.
Yeah, no equity, right?
Yeah, well, there's no 14th Amendment, no equal justice under the law, right?
No, and she does it not just to the audience, but to the board as well, right? Like I'll give an example that I seen myself. I was right there. Rude as fuck, dude. Vern was talking. I was trying to listen to Vern, and next thing I know, Stephanie's talking because the mayor addressed Stephanie in fucking asked her some shit, dude, to get Stephanie talking right over Vern as he's trying to speak. And then when Vern's like, excuse me, the mayor apologizes to Stephanie instead of apologizing to Vern. Like, is she fucking drunk up there or what the fuck, dude? She says she don't even remember. She doesn't even remember Robert fucking trying to make amends with these people. She doesn't remember that happening. She doesn't remember hearing the speech. She doesn't remember getting the letter. Every agenda that she's led, she's been fucking wrong. She keeps jumping all over the place. Like, she can't just follow it step by step. Last time was public comment. That comes after pledge. She fucking threw it in the middle because we had to call her out on it in the audience, saying, hey, she skipped that whole fucking part. So she's been out of order on the agenda each time as well.
And here's
two
what
things I notice of her that make her not a good mayor.
Listen, this is what I think is funny too, is the meeting before the last special meeting, right? One of the members asked to amend the agenda, and they were told in no uncertain terms that they couldn't do it. You can't amend the agenda. And then last week they amended the agenda, and when they got called out on it, it was, oh no, we found out that we can do it. Well, okay, so that's great. So if you could do it last week, that would mean that the person that tried to amend the agenda the week before should have been able to put their motion.
Oh, and it happened over and over. We got the videos. Wow. We do.
Yeah, it happened to Vern. And Vern got into what, Vern? A 45-minute argument about
38.
38-minute argument about amending the agenda. And then Bob wanted to amend the agenda, I think the week later, and they told him no, that they couldn't amend the agenda. But then the week later, they amended the agenda because it was what they wanted to do and it was okay for them, but nobody said anything.
And I love how the mayor leads off with, I need this. We have this agenda, but I need this first. And she says what she wants somebody to fucking make the motion for, dude. It's weird.
Here's another little tidbit of things that I'm starting to pick up on, and it bothers me. And we were told that it was just the wording, the way they worded it. That's not the way I'm taking it, because Angela and Erlinda said last week in that meeting that they got together with Sarah and Stephanie and decided which bills had to be paid.
Yep.
Before it was voted on to pay the bills.
Well,
they had already, according to what we were told, the way that they explained that they had signed the checks were sent out. Now, all of a sudden, we're being told, well, we didn't do anything. And we're voting on it tonight to pay them.
Well, right. So what it was she pretty much admitted that her, Monica and Angela were sitting in the office talking town business. I mean, is that not a violation of the Sunshine Law that they tried to get Frank, Bob, and Vern on?
It sure sounds that way because it's two or more, right?
And they were making decisions on what bills needed to be paid, what bills didn't, but they weren't including everybody else.
That's right.
So this whole thing, the argument whenever I left out of there was basically about the Sunshine Law, because the council made the committees. I was on the maintenance with Frank, and as soon as this all started, Joe leaves, so I start contacting all the people on the water, trying to figure out getting an ORC in. And Erlinda jumped into the middle of it. Then she puts Bob on the maintenance committee for him and Frank to do the inventory at the shop, which I had already started. So there's 4 people off of the council that are working in the maintenance thing. And that was the last straw for me. That was whenever I walked out. I didn't want any part of the bullshit, because they're openly doing what the fuck they want. With Angela, Monica, and Erlinda in there, that's 3 people. You can't do this shit. And they sit there talking about it all the time. Yet they want to jump on me for crap like amending the agenda. I've argued that over and over and over.
Hold on, Vern. I mean, these are the people that, you know, also didn't hire me but they want to put out my HIPAA shit in front of fucking people. They don't give a fuck about that. We've already proven that.
Well,
Okay?
I'm volunteering tomorrow. Here's what they've done
Hold on. These are also the same fucking people where you've got your mayor who probably doesn't remember, but she admitted to us that she hits the THC pen before the meeting, before she gets sworn in as mayor. Man, I hope I'm ready for this. I hit my pen a little bit too hard tonight.
Hey, what's going to happen tonight whenever they go on this new guy for the ORC? I'm volunteering to take him for his drug test tomorrow.
Oh, well, who took this guy? Who took the new maintenance guy?
Hey, take her, Linda, would you?
Yeah, take her, Linda. I think Linda needs a drug test
to see
too.
the other employees tested as well. I mean,
exactly. What happened to random drug tests? I do believe in the policy book there's random drug tests. Why don't you grab Sarah and Stephanie while you're at it there, Vern?
Well, here's what I haven't heard you guys talk about this part of it yet, but the town in an open council meeting, whenever they're talking to this guy that, Sarah basically interviewed him for the job, yet no one's remarked about that the town is willing to put him on as a salary employed so he could beat a contract he has for no compete with his other guy.
We haven't gotten to that yet, Vern. I mean, there's so much stuff. We haven't gotten to that yet.
Well, let me ask this question, and maybe somebody can clue me in on this one. How is it that when the town is under GBI investigation and the USDA is investigating the town and missing money, that paperwork seems to be disappearing from the town hall? It's coming from the maintenance department. They're taking it, they're putting it into Walmart bags and what have you, and it's walking out the door. Somebody want to explain to me how?
Personally, I don't understand why the council doesn't have access to those cameras equally and an equal opportunity to have access to those cameras and monitor them freely at will. For multiple reasons. For one, then it eases their minds as council members. And it lets the ladies in the office and anybody going in to deal with the ladies in the office know that, hey, maybe Erlinda is watching us right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand why they don't use the resources at hand. Like, they have so many resources here and they act like they don't. It's just it's fucking odd, man.
But
really.
my thing is why is any paperwork walking out of that building during the investigation?
Because nobody's paying attention.
Well, we haven't seen the shredder truck in a while, but I can tell you that I know that they're still on payroll for them. They're still using the shredder company, but I haven't seen the shredder truck in quite some time.
That's insane.
I wonder where the shredder truck is going.
Imagine if they had somebody watching the fucking cameras there, huh?
Right?
You know what I'm saying?
Well,
like that's what I mean. It's that easy.
They probably do, and I know for a fact that those cameras were there was actually core requests made for those cameras and
they should.
Yeah, and we haven't gotten them. They were told in a meeting that they needed to start filling out FOIA requests. John, have you gotten your Tyra resignation letter yet?
I haven't gotten anything. I haven't heard from anybody about the paperwork dropped on their desk last.
That's the consensus.
I haven't heard anything about the request that I made for the resignation letter.
And again, okay, so this point comes off that point. Again, these ladies in the office are given direct orders to do things, and they fucking don't. And then there's no repercussions. Okay. Well, again, that's not their fault. When they've been allowed to do this for 14 and 16 years or whatever, 12 and 14 years, whatever the fuck it's been,
Yeah,
with no repercussions. Because if you look, I'm sure they have no write-ups on files, guys.
Hold on, we got a new mayor and board. We were going to have transparency and accountability. I mean, we got to let the board do their job.
For it. You just have to wait
Yeah,
for
we
it.
just
It's
got to
like a
wait
magic
for it.
trick.
Yeah, but here's another issue, right? Like I sent those letters, certified, return receipt requested. Those letters arrived on a certain day, right? And those letters were stamped immediately, returned to sender the same day. They flat out just refused to even accept them. They didn't even know what they were. They just saw a name on there and return receipt requested and sent it right back. That's hindering process.
Right.
You can't turn around and stop me from being able to submit letters of intent, right? By sending it back and going, we didn't get it. The other moron
And that happened under the new board, John. Remember, that happened under the new board, new mayor.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and that just goes to show you that the transparency that they're claiming doesn't seem to be there. And again, I'm not saying
nor the accountability.
I don't know.
Right?
I don't know what she knows. I don't know what she knows. I don't know if she knew that they were sending that stuff back. But at the end of the day, the fact that they're hindering the process, you can't do that.
Well,
that's illegal on so many levels.
They know now, John. Like they know now from the meeting. They know now. You know what I'm saying?
And what's worse is GCM brought up a good point. I just requested the resignation letter, right? We've already been there for 3 days. So what am I going to do? Sit here and wait for the 10th day, 11th day, the 12th day? Then I'm going to have to send another letter of intent. Not to mention the fact that I know for a fact that there is another agency out here, right, that literally has three
You just ignore it, John, and it'll go away.
Yeah.
It's like the magic trick we're waiting for. You know?
These are I'm not, again, I'm speaking for me and I'm speaking for what I know is fact. I know for a fact that there is another person out there that has 3 core requests that they submitted that haven't been filled, and they have a legal team filling out the paperwork to file letters of intent again against the town for not fulfilling the CORA.
Well, not just them, John. I mean,
I understand.
There's more. There's more, and the fact that we've got a new board and we've got a new mayor, and that mayor is trying everything she can not to be named in anything. Guess what,
bro? And imagine when they finally let it sink in. Like it hasn't sunk in yet. I don't believe it's sunk in at any level. They're the custodians, so their whole "we don't have a CORA officer" type shit they kept using as the reason to deny us and ignore us and blah. None of that's gonna stand up legally.
No.
The custodians were them ladies in the office.
Yeah.
They only needed, there's where Angela and I filled in.
So the two of you make decisions around the council?
We didn't. We brought it to the council and told them that it was done, and there's where we were trying to sign. Nobody wanted to sign it.
I just asked you that and you said no.
You just said no.
Okay.
She's fucking high, dude.
Okay. Well, okay. We got a response.
Listen, if it makes her stop banging that gavel, she can smoke a whole goddamn pen to her face.
Oh yeah, you ought to show that clip.
Show what clip?
Let's go.
Good evening. So, last meeting you said the people asked for a new mayor and a new board, correct? Correct.
Go ahead and talk, and then I'll answer when you're done.
It was a rhetorical question. So, don't worry about answering my questions, please. And don't interrupt me. Thank you. So they asked for a new board and a new mayor. They recalled Donald for the same things that you were doing. You just lied right in front of freaking everybody. I am so sick and tired of seeing these people not being treated correctly. I am so sick and tired of not seeing transparency. You know what else I'm sick and tired of? I'm sick and tired of you guys not handling your responsibilities. So, these are letters of intent that Mr. John Denicola sent in. And Sarah and Stephanie sent it back. Certified mail sent it back.
Okay, let me stop you.
No!
Right.
Don't interrupt my 3 minutes. Don't interrupt my 3 minutes. Don't interrupt my 3 minutes.
Lower your. I know.
Do not.
Do not interrupt my 3 minutes. Do not interrupt me. That is very disrespectful. Very disrespectful. Again, these people put you into power. You didn't put yourselves into power. You keep treating these people like you have been treating them. Guess what? You're going to be the second mayor recalled.
Right after the election.
Ma'am,
Sorry.
I will have you removed. This is my last warning.
She can make comments during my 3 minutes. How about that? Yeah, she can because I gave her permission. Yeah. All right. I tell you what, considering as how you want to keep interrupting me, I get my 3 minutes back.
That's fine, go ahead.
Great. Fuck. Shit. Cum slut dumpster. Tyrant.
Sir, would you remove him, please?
No, that's my freedom of speech.
No.
Yes, it
Your
is.
language is.
That is my freedom of speech. Remove me. Remove me now. Remove me now. So I have a 1983 claim against you.
Attorney, he can come up here and tell us to F off as long as he wants. Give him his 3 minutes and then leave.
So then, you can go ahead and you want to talk about disrespect and disrespect all the women in the audience? Okay, go ahead.
That is my freedom of speech. If they get offended by my freedom of speech, that's their problem.
Go ahead. Give him 3 minutes. Reset him.
Reset him. Go ahead. Josh, they don't care about us.
Very. You clear every chance they get. Who rules?
Okay. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. You're cool. Fuck you. I'm out. I just want to say thanks again for the support, Frank. If any of you missed that, Frank on the board there was supporting us by giving us applause and everything like that. And thank you, Angela.
He's the best player on our side, probably, guys.
Well, and that board, no offense to whatever, but that board can thank Angela for that outburst because that's what she told me I could do.
She invited.
I'm supposed to comply, right? Well, I complied. I told
you guys
him
lose Vern?
Fuck you. Except Vern. Vern's cool. And I was out.
Yeah,
I left.
He fell out. He fell out.
Stephanie was the last one. That was the best.
Yeah.
I left.
Yeah.
That's what they wanted me to do. They wanted me to tell them,
All
fuck
you gotta
you,
do.
and leave. That's
And
it. That's
leave.
all they wanted to hear.
Oh.
They don't want to hear about how they're doing wrong. They don't wanna-
Remove him.
They don't want to hear about any of that. Stop fucking interrupting me.
You know, I hate to say this, but what would they do if you had 20 people lined up to speak?
I don't know. I was kind of hoping that there was, I mean, it was a packed house, that every chair in there plus standing room was full. Technically, that meeting should have never went on by law because there was not enough seats for everybody to sit down. Technically, it should have been moved over here, back over here to the community center, but unfortunately, the community center can't be used for that right now.
Well, that's because of the black mold, right? And all the electrical and everything else.
Yeah, the leak in the roof, the mold.
Hey, all I can
think they got
say is in the
electrical done.
meeting is that last meeting, I know there was like over 25 people there. I'm just glad nobody fire. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Telling you.
Well, yeah. Usually in the meetings, in the town meeting, if there's an overflow of people and people can't hear what's going on in the meeting, that's when they would move it. The fact
Yeah,
that
you
she's
can't-
telling people to sit down.
Yeah, well, you can't hear, period, John. I mean, they talk so low and their sound system sucks. Hell,
Well,
you
you know,
Right.
it's funny you
So,
should mention
at
this
one
sound system.
point, Sue was talking to somebody right next to her, and she even like put a folder in front of her so like the sound would project, you know. And she's whispering, and the fucking whispers were interrupting the meeting. It's like, well, if you motherfuckers would use your microphones and lean up and act like you're participating in shit, dude. If you watch the body language of these meetings, dude, they're all kicked back like they're fucking sitting at home watching the Super Bowl or something, dude. They're
Listen,
afraid to use the microphone, you know. They run
Go ahead,
from it
John.
like it's a fucking snake.
I guess my issue with that is they voted on and approved a new sound system for the meetings.
Yeah, but
where is it?
You already know where it is.
Yeah, it's nowhere.
We're broke.
Yeah.
We're
Well,
broke.
listen, I mean,
that's the last thing we're gonna do is fix something that would help bridge the gap, right? You know, when people can hear and understand what's going on, you know, that's the last thing they're gonna fucking invest in, you know. So we're broke. That's the excuse there. So it doesn't matter that it was voted on, it was passed unanimously or whatever. That doesn't matter. We're broke now. So we'll worry about that maybe next year. We've got to pay these ladies, you know, to rebuild our books instead. You know, the ones that are sending out these bills that are all wrong and shit to the wrong fucking dude. That's who we have rebuilding our books.
oh yeah, kind
Makes
of
good sense.
That's kind of like Gerald telling Stephanie to pay Ken when they were supposed to vote on paying.
They
Ken.
forgot all about that too. You know, that was brought up. They forgot all about that.
They forgot
Act
about
like
a lot
it
of
didn't
things.
exist.
And I, you know, again, I'm not one to mince words. I'm kind of getting a little old and tired, but so here's where we have a major issue, right?
Looks like Monica and Erlinda's in the office.
No. So at the end of the day, though, right? They're supposed to be taking care of the issues with the water, right? They're supposed to be taking care of the issues with the gas. None of that's getting done. Clearly, the girls aren't supposed to be taking paperwork out of the town hall. That's being done. You got guys like Robert who have had their shit shut off for over a year. For whatever reason, it was done illegally. Whether again, we're not attorneys, we're not lawyers. That's for the lawyers and whoever to figure it out. But at the end of the day, all these things, not to mention, we almost forgot. Forgive me for almost forgetting this. You got Baxter, who is suing for 700,000 plus. You also have what is it? You have attorneys, the water attorney, former water attorney, along with Ken, speaking to the press about executive session stuff, which is a violation of the Open Meetings Act. But nobody on this board has said, wait a minute, why aren't we pursuing issues with the water attorney, the former water attorney?
Because that's not the town's business, John.
Yeah,
that's all
nobody's
being
business, right?
handled behind the scenes, just like there's
That's
been.
right. Did you not hear the new slogan?
Just like
The truth is not the town's business. We're gonna put that shit on signs all over. We got money for that.
And listen, let's not even begin to talk about all of the numerous conflicts of interest that were going on with this town, even before the new board.
Right.
And now you kind of get a conflict of interest too, because from what I understand, somehow or another, isn't Stephanie somehow or another related to the guy that applied for the job?
Did you see this comment, John? She's got a good point.
Yes.
Especially with Erlinda being such a hothead.
I believe you. I believe that.
I thought her shit was gonna light up on fire when she was shaking that gavel at you people. Oh my gosh.
She was mad. But you know, and that's going to be an interesting ordeal too. Is
what if that gavel would have flew out of her old ass hand, bro, into the audience? She was waving and beating that son of a bitch around like it was a loaf of bread she knew or something.
Yeah, well, I'm curious to see what happens with the DA.
Oh, he's gonna come set us straight.
Yeah.
He's gonna talk to us about decorum.
Okay. Would that be the same decorum that he used to sue the sheriff?
I don't know, man. He's supposed to be here in person next regular meeting. So
No, he was. My understanding is he was supposed to be here at tonight's meeting for the special meeting. I thought.
No, the regular meeting. Not tonight.
They keep flip flopping on everything. I don't know anymore.
They just do.
Well,
it's hard to hear.
Yeah.
Really smoke that much?
I don't know. At the end of the day, I don't know. I just think that we've come to a point now where it's just different players, you know, different names, same playing, same game being played, and you know, keeping people in the dark is usually what pisses people off the most. If you would just be honest and upfront and say, hey, we're looking at Chapter 9 bankruptcy because, you know, we got so much money MIA.
No, that'll mess the whole magic trick up, John. You don't know how to do a good magic trick, do you?
No.
They're trying to show you how to do a good magic trick.
Yeah.
Poof. You don't see the money, do you? Do you? Look, do you see the money? You don't see the money, do you? Right?
Right.
And then you have to wait for the rest of the magic trick where they all disappear with it.
Well, that's the thing. And
Ta-da!
And you know, again, I'm not casting aspersions. I'm just somebody on the outside seeing something that looks a little suspect to me. And again, allegedly, reportedly, you know, the two young ladies that are working in that office, you can't tell me that they've been there. One of them's been there 14 years, and I think the other one's been there for what, 8? You're gonna tell me that neither one of them knew what was going on with all this crap? Sorry,
they don't know nothing. Nada.
Yeah.
They do not know nothing, and they don't do core requests. They don't know nothing. I mean,
you know, it's
stop picking on them, John. They don't know nothing. They don't do nothing, and you shouldn't even
Well,
and bring them up.
I will, here's where because I don't want to talk too much about the Cora thing for myself. I don't want to talk too much about it, but here's my thing. I know for a fact that on at least 2 occasions that I've called the town hall, I've talked to both Stephanie and Sarah about Cora requests, and they both turned around and go, let me see if I can find it. And they looked up the email on the computer and my Cora request. So you can't tell me they don't know how to do it.
No, they know how to do it. They just claim dumb. That's all it is, John. I mean, come on, plausible deniability. If
You people, while you have that,
you do it, then you know that you could do it, huh?
While you have that clip up, play Sue's public comment, would you? She did a great job with that.
She
too,
did
and
a
I
great
think a lot
job
of
of
people-
public
I
comment
think a
as
lot
well.
of people agree with her. So yeah, that would be a good one. Good little quick clip. She didn't spend too long up there, but she did get
If he watched
Sorry.
All right.
it, I don't care if he comments. If we need to do a statement, it's really,
Good to see you.
when it's all said and done, it really doesn't matter.
So yes. So yes.
And everybody loves the construction paper signs, man. I mean, it's like nostalgic almost, you know? They change seats so fast around here, you know? They can't even laminate them.
Like playing Duck, Duck, Goose.
That sucks, Vern. It's all right, bro. No worries. What's up, basement garden?
What's up, basement? Watch this lady. She's going to tell the mayor how it is.
We call, Sue Lawson up, please.
Last meeting, you asked us to give you time to get things together and to sort things out, correct? Okay, then we deserve the time to.
Hold on a second. Objection. How come Erlinda can answer her question just fine? How come it had to be a snarky ass comment with me?
You know.
All right, I'm sorry. I'm gonna bring it back. I'm gonna bring it back here. Hold on. All right.
Last meeting, you asked us to give you time to get things together and to sort things out, correct? Okay, then we deserve the time to react, okay? Every one of you were voted in by them, okay? We don't work for you, you work for us, number one. Number two, last meeting, you broke your own rules by amending a special meeting agenda, okay? If you don't want us to break rules, don't you do it too, okay? I'm not intimidated by you, okay? I don't think you have the mentality or temperament to be the mayor, okay? And you're proving that. You don't get to disrespect us, Erlinda.
Okay?
They're not bothering me.
It doesn't matter.
We're disrupting the meeting.
Right.
They didn't disrupt anything.
Are you gonna finish your?
I am
3
finished.
minutes?
I am finished.
Okay. We did not break by amending the agenda. We found out that we can amend the agenda in a special meeting. We just found out. It's in the Sursa manual, correct, Sarah?
Okay, well, then I'll give you that one. I'll take that back. But we're watching you as closely as you're watching us.
We are asking for time. There's, I'm not really sure what you guys don't understand. There's a lot, and you guys know because you brought it out. And I'm not taking anything away from Bernie because he brought everything to life, okay? But now let us do our job. There's a lot. I mean, meetings were not attended, you know, and we just have a lot to do, a lot.
And I get that. I do get that.
From the last, I don't know, 2 years, 3 years, probably from 2 mayors ago, you know, and so because everything was neglected, I have everything on my plate.
That was another question, speaking of everything on your plate. The last meeting, you said you were uncomfortable putting your name to the reports. And your response was, well, who's gonna do it? Isn't that your job?
No.
You're the mayor.
No.
You're the one in charge.
See, there's a misunderstanding here. We are only doing letters of acceptance. We're not approving because we have nothing to do with the budgets that are missing.
And Sarah did?
No,
But-
but Sarah works in the office, okay? So I'm not quite sure what you're not understanding. She was here, I wasn't here. And so it was explained to us, correct, Angela?
Right.
It's
So
a letter
let me clarify this.
of acceptance.
The letters from James Ray, the one that's handling the audits now, okay? He went through and kind of explained, and basically what he needed us to sign off on was the complete mismanagement of the previous year's books. And that he needed us to sign off that what he could compile was the best that he could do and was to the best of our knowledge was the best that he could pull together, and that we'll accept that basically. And so both Erlinda and I signed off on that so we could get the 2019 budget has now been officially submitted, or not the budget, the audit to the state.
Thank you.
Okay, to Crystal Dorsey. Okay.
And James Ray is I think he might be maybe halfway through 2020. That's what I said, we're playing catch up. It's
I
not about
understand.
being rude. It's not about, but we have a lot, and it's like everybody thinks that we're supposed to fix this, you know, and
We want you to fix it, and we're willing, okay, to work with you as a team. I just asked them, when do the meetings, the workshops come back?
They'll come back. We
You
just
know,
have some look out
why
for
have
some
we
things
lost
had to deal
some
with.
things we have gained?
That was
Okay.
one that we missed, okay?
Okay.
We'll bring them back.
But the point that I'm trying to make most of us want to work with you, okay? But we want to be worked with. We don't want to be disrespected. We don't want to be intimidated or made to feel like we don't matter. That was the problem before.
we're not, I don't feel like I'm making you feel intimidated. I'm not, this is me. This is who I am.
Oh, what you are, bitch.
I'm in progress.
Maybe a little, maybe just a little more kindness.
Okay. Your 3 minutes are up. Thank
Pardon?
you. Your 3
Oh, yeah,
minutes are
they've been up.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I like how they all interrupted her. Well, not all, but you know what I mean. They didn't mind interrupting her.
They also answered her questions.
Well, they answered her questions, and they answered her questions kind of stupid, in my opinion. I mean, there really was no explanation there. First, she's saying, well, I've got everything that the boards, 2 years ago have neglected.
Yeah. And then she's like, no, I don't got to sign that as the mayor. No, I don't. No, I don't. And then Angela's like, yeah, her and I signed it. Like, dude, is anybody paying attention?
And if you listen to what she said, she's implicating not only the recalled mayor, but the other mayor who ended up being a council member.
Yeah. Yeah, like, is anybody listening to what these people say, man? Like, they just, oh my
And
God.
weren't we supposed to be getting rid of the guy that they're talking about that did the audit? And then on top of that, top of that, didn't they say they couldn't rebuild the books anything past 2023? Like not,
But now
like
we're
a couple
still
meetings
trying.
ago?
We're still trying, though, guys. We're gonna still give it a good old college old-fashioned try. You know, we already
Well,
spent
if I
over $100,000
my
for nothing.
understanding was is she just said that they completed the 2019, right? What about the 2018? That's
Well,
never
that's
gonna
not even the budget. That's the audit. And apparently it's not complete because they could only come up with so much information for where's all the information? Where's all this paperwork?
Well, if
Oh,
you
yeah,
remember,
that's right. It
if
keeps
you
walking the
remember,
fuck
though,
out and getting shredded.
if you remember last year when the state auditor came in, right? When the state auditor came in, they specifically said, we're looking at bank statements that aren't even bank statements.
You
We don't
know,
know what they are. We can't put them in here.
remember too, guys, we got the budgets. Like, we got hard copies of the budgets that they can't delete, change, manipulate. They've already been released to the public. Everything approved on them, blah, blah, blah. Even though they're 100% illegal, because how could they have had these budgets if they didn't have those budgets? So we have the paperwork for sure on all that as well. And you know, that's where if you guys remember those budgets, it's like 90,000 for gas.
You know what we didn't see? You know what we didn't see? We saw the money being paid to an auditor, but we didn't see the 90,000 that we paid out to the auditor to do nothing.
Right.
They sat on their thumbs. They haven't done
Well,
anything.
those budgets showed like 2,000 every year we were paying out to audit, and we didn't have any audits. So like I say, we have the paper copies of those guys. They can't take that away. And we got those through a request. So we have the video of them giving them to us and everything. Those ladies in the office, imagine that. Yeah. Yeah. Like I say, when you look through none of the budget makes sense. Well, it makes sense because nobody through the state or an official agency has even looked at nor approved those budgets, you know? So
there's a reason why
they don't even submit those.
They won't submit them
Yeah, but we've
funny,
also
man.
looked up those budgets and they've submitted those budgets. Those budgets are on the main website, the state website that you can go to find all of the counties and cities and towns budgets. They're up there. So how did they get onto there?
Right.
You see? I mean, there's some kind of craziness going on out here, and frankly, we're just trying to figure out where the craziness is coming from, but we know where the craziness is coming from. Problem is that nobody's willing to do anything about it.
You still have never charged anybody with any of those felonies. None of the money missing is a felony according to them.
Well, putting a hit on people isn't a felony, apparently.
Hey, this is a statutory town.
Sitting on the charges for a year and a half doesn't seem to be bothering the DA either.
This statutory town, John. Statutory town. They don't have to follow state laws.
Well, I wonder what the DA is going to, I wonder if he's going to answer the question when he shows up next regular meeting on why nothing has been done about the hit that was put out on Good Citizen and myself.
And Robert.
Oh, and Robert. Yeah, I'm sorry. That Robert was attached to that as well.
Yeah. And you know, and that kind of makes me kind of curious because I'm sure that Sheriff Newman would be more than happy to send the paperwork over for a third time to Mr. Solano's office for those charges to be filed. I mean,
well, you know, I mean, if we're going to hold everybody accountable and we're going to hold the people accountable, I mean, come on. I mean, let's start holding everybody accountable. Whatever happened to this equal stuff? I keep hearing all this equal stuff that keeps coming out of like all these board members' mouths and everything, but I don't see the equal treatment yet, John.
I wish I knew. I haven't seen it. You know, if you want equal treatment under the law, I guess you got to become a government agent to get away with breaking it.
I guess so.
You know, I'm just.
I got him. I got him. I got him. Oh, he
You
got
lost.
me back. What happened?
Same thing that happened to you.
That's right.
What happened?
What happened?
Point of order. Point of order.
Remove me. Remove me. Put me in
Remove.
timeout.
That's right. She was waving that little magic wand like she was about to do it that way too.
Oh man.
You know, there's so many different questions, and let's get on to this too. Another thing that we were talking about too is we were talking about the agenda items and stuff, and you know, I went back about maybe 4 or 5 meetings back, and there were old agenda items that haven't been put as old onto the new meetings.
Oh no, we
I'm
don't.
just,
No, they don't
Yep.
do that, John.
That's part of the magic trick, John.
That's part of the magic trick.
oh,
Yeah, that's part of the magic trick. And then once the new mayor comes in, it's all on the new mayor.
yeah.
So they got to table it and make it disappear.
Because this one's only got like 4 months till she's they start the recall on her. So yeah. And then the new mayor, you see what I mean? You got the magic trick. So we'll put those on later. Right? Like there's some stuff on there that's still not been resolved since we first got here over 2 years ago. I shit you not.
Oh, I know.
So yeah. And then there's plenty of problems that they don't even want to talk about or put on the agenda, right? Like the sewer pond that's soon to be a future Superfund site.
Yeah, well, you know, and that's kind of funny too, because that kind of brings up the whole issue with the augmentation pond there. You know, how they were talking about, you know, we're going to try and get this company back in here, you know, with the USDA signing one portion of the check and somebody else signing the other portion, which I'm not too crazy about the person signing the other half of it, but hey, whatever it is, right? But I think they failed to realize that the augmentation pond shouldn't have been filled to begin with because it was never inspected properly. But yet these are the things that people were signing off on and saying all this stuff was done when it wasn't done. So it kind of leads credence to the argument of you got what you paid for. You know?
Well, I want to know what happened to Ken. I want to know what happened to Ken because Ken is the one that signed off on all that stuff, and I'm surprised.
He's our code enforcement.
Yeah,
Remember?
he's the code enforcement.
We hired him in code
building
enforcement.
inspector. I mean, John,
Vern, how much did you guys decide to pay him to be the building inspector? Did the people get to know how much we're paying him to be the building inspector?
Well, it is a
Right?
matter of
Ain't
public
code
record.
enforcement too when he wants to be? Is it still 65 an hour still for when he's out code enforcement and inspecting?
Yeah, I don't know. Is that all one charge?
I guess the question is what qualifications does he have to be a building inspector?
I don't know.
He's got 2 eyes.
He's got 2 eyes. We know that he has a background. We just don't think that it's
He
in
used
building.
to be a county commissioner, so I think that like trumps everything, right?
That trumps everything. That gives you like carte blanche
That's
to do
like key
anything.
to the city type shit. Like you know, he's got 2 eyes and he used to be a county commissioner, so he's probably
and I gotta be honest with
overqualified.
you, I can't even. We haven't even touched on this subject, right? And I'm just gonna slap this one out there because I just love to get that going, right? How about all the conflicts of interest that were going on throughout the entire time, right? That these people were sitting on the board. You know what I mean? they're hiring friends. Nothing's going out to bid. There's no bid contracts. There's no bid wars. Generally, when you send somebody, like, perfect example would have been the ADA ramp, right? If you go to do the ADA ramp, you get
Friends
a bunch
and
of
family.
quotes.
No, it's friends and family out here. Question everything here. Appreciate the membership. You know that memberships help us out over here. Says the district attorney is coming to give a lecture on how to act in public meeting. This guy's job is to investigate. So why isn't he investigating? He should address this. Well, question everything. Earlier we spoke kind of about this even more in depth as to why hasn't the board reprimanded anyone? Nobody's been reprimanded throughout any of this, period, ever, right? Let alone as far as I know, nothing's publicly been discussed about how they're pursuing any kind of charges or criminal investigation, other than the one the USDA has pretty much forced upon them. So I mean that's about the best I can answer that. Why he isn't investigating? What's he going to do? Investigate them all? I mean, they run this town. It's an enterprise. Then it'd have to be racketeering or RICO or something, right? So good question. I like what are you thinking there? He's definitely going to show up and talk about decorum, is what he said specifically. I heard meeting decorum. So yes, he'd rather speak about that to these angry citizens who are looking for justice, right? Like, we know crimes have been committed here. We know things are all askew, and we need to be told to act right.
Yeah.
We definitely need to be told how to act right. We don't know how to act.
Now, mind you, nobody has ever been violent to these people whatsoever. However, there has been violence from them towards the people. So, like, just saying. But we need to act right. We have not taken any of their money. None of their money's disappeared out of their bank accounts. But our money's disappeared out of our bank account, right? They're sending us bills for stupid amounts that don't even make sense, So, and I mean, this is just recent, guys. This is under this board. Put that back up, you people. Put that bill back up there. Click her back in. I mean, this is recent. This is the ladies in the office who are rebuilding our books. I mean, this is ridiculous for a house that has no service. And when the bill was shut off, I think it was $129 owed or something like that. So, yeah. And then they turn around and now it's a whole different story. So,
yeah, it's funny too, because
and so Robert wrote on the bottom, you'll see the different writing, wrong address, like dummies, wrong address or something. That ain't the bill for here. That's the wrong address. You don't go from $129 with no service for a year to that, do you? This is who's rebuilding the books, guys. Just watch the magic trick. You gotta wait. You have to wait. You gotta let the suspense build.
The other thing too. Let's call out some other things, though. This isn't the only discrepancy in bills that are going on out here. We also have other members of the town that are being billed for water usage, right? That's like astronomical water usage, like over 30,000 gallons of water. You know what I mean? And normally you'd be like, yeah, okay, maybe if you got a family of 5 or 10, you know what I mean? But you're talking about people that are like two to the house. You know what I mean? So how do you really equate 30,000 gallons of water going through somebody's house? I'm sorry. At some point, you got to say enough's enough and realize that there's something else wrong here.
Right. There's definitely something else wrong here. And it happens all the time. and then it's always somebody else's fault. It's never the common denominator's fault. It's always something just didn't happen right, or whatever. There's always an excuse made up, and it never gets fixed.
Yeah, just give us time.
Yeah,
You know,
that's it.
listen,
Give them time. They need more time. And
This
as the
is-
time
this
goes
is-
on, the bill goes from $129 to $1,631.56. Right?
Well,
And
that's
this
the
is
late fee.
recent. 4/18/24. This is recent. This is the new board, the new mayor, okay? And those ladies in the office that are rebuilding the fucking books. And this is how shit gets done. This is, and it's not a problem. There's going to be no repercussions for this. Nobody will be corrected. Nobody will be disciplined. You see what I mean? It just continues on and on. But yet we're supposed to expect the DA to come in and act any different. No, he's not. He's going to come in and do what he was asked to do. Tell us to simmer down, folks. Simmer down. Give us time. Get the fuck out of here, dude. We've give you plenty of time. None of this is new. Everybody's known this for a long time. All this shit. They can't act like, oh, we're surprised. We didn't know none of this was happening. They knew. They fucking knew. So, we have audio and video to prove all this shit, obviously, right? Like, this shit's been happening for a long fucking time. Well before we came along. So, I don't understand how we're in shock now, you know? No.
Well,
we're in action mode now. Now we want to see actions. We want to see shit happening. We want to see these people charged. We want to see people treated fairly. We want to see how bad is the damages. The people want to know. I mean, stop hiding this shit, dude. It's not a good look.
I don't think they're too concerned with the look.
Right. Otherwise, those ladies probably would be replaced or something to that effect, man. Because obviously they're not the solution to the problem, and they're more likely the problem for the solution. You know what I mean? Like that's
Well, you know,
that's it.
again,
you know, and
these are the same people that, you know,
they openly admit they're untrained at doing everything, but yet we should keep them around because they know everything. How fucking stupid does that sound when you tell the public that, dude?
And yeah, but here's the thing too, and they're to keep them around full time, not doing what they told us that they were going to do.
Right, they didn't
And then the thing is, it's like I don't know. They sit there and say, "Oh yeah, we need them," blah blah blah, right? Well, I find it funny. They can go all the way back to 2018 or 16 or some shit and find an ordinance about their insurance. They can dig into Robert's fucking past bills for years and years and years, but they can't fill a single fucking core request, dude. Like how stupid do people have to be to believe what they're being told?
Well, they're too busy targeting harassing Robert to do anything else.
That's my point. They know enough to dig into where they need to dig into, where they want to, when they need to.
You know,
when you ask them to look into
but let's not forget that they decided to take Robert's personal private business and put it out there in that meeting. Now, by the time that they asked him
afterwards,
they had already done it.
They asked him afterwards.
They had already done it.
Yeah, but it's okay. They asked him afterwards.
It's like
it's better to ask for forgiveness than to ask for permission, John.
Yeah. You know,
I mean,
and it's
after
funny
all,
because,
it's
like I said,
Robert's personal information, not theirs. You heard me ask the mayor what her bill was. She didn't want to talk about it. That's confidential information.
Right, and
yeah. Well, you know, again, what is it? Rules for thee and not for me. So, you know,
Yeah,
at the
they
end
got to
of the
protect
day,
their privacy. You know,
listen, it's all the great distraction because I don't know about you, but I cannot see this town coming back from the deficit it's in. Just,
well, the thing
listen,
is
the
that
fact that
is,
they,
you and I know a little bit more than the public knows about what all's coming. You know, I mean, and the damages are just, oh my, you know, like these people
yeah,
are just, and now, and we're being told to shut up, shut up, shut up, don't say nothing. You shut up,
yeah.
or I'll
Don't say
remove
anything.
you.
Don't
This is
upset.
just crazy.
Don't
You
upset the
know,
villagers.
right? Just shh.
We're Frankenstein. We're the Frankenstein monster. That's it. Just, you know, we're scaring the townspeople. It wasn't the guy that made Frankenstein who was the monster. It was the monster himself. I understand.
I mean, that's where we're at, though. That's how ridiculous this is. That's where we're at. It's like, wow. And they're the victims. They're the new board and the new mayor. You know, they're the victims of everything that was done before them. You know, and you know, some people out there are saying, "Well, we already got rid of the worst problem." The worst? Are you sure?
I don't think so. I
You
still
know,
think that listen. I still think you got the cancer still in there. You haven't cut it all out, and until you cut all of it out, it ain't going away.
and they're not being proactive at all either, right? To build confidence from the public. Like they're not trying to like where's the ad for the clerk? Do they got that out? I haven't seen it anywhere.
No.
Right? I live here locally. You'd think I'd see a fucking ad for a job here locally. You know what I mean? So where's the ad? Where's the job ad and description that's posted
Are they
publicly?
running? Are they
People can
running
try
it
to
up north?
apply to help fix this fucking shithole. Yeah, and what about an accountant or CPA? Like we ain't bothered with that, or treasurer, nothing. Like they're just not doing very well at building confidence. You know, instead they're like just be patient, shut up, sit down.
Well, you know, and that kind of brings into too is we were talking about like the water and how that they were paying for water to be brought in. And my understanding was that they weren't supposed to be able to do that.
They do what they want.
Again, here we go. You know, just one thing after another, right?
It is, but it's all you people's
Isn't
fault.
that the way it always goes here, though, John?
Yeah.
Well, it is.
It's
all
an
my fault.
unfortunate. It's an unfortunate reality.
It is. It's all you people's fault. I mean,
It is.
If it wasn't for
It's
you
all my
people-
fault. It's all my fault.
Yeah.
You know?
None of this would have happened. He just tore this
by the
town
way,
apart.
By the way, just so we're clear, you were talking about the resignation letter. I wasn't the only person that Cora requested that letter. By the way,
Oh, I know you
there
are.
are others who have requested it.
You're not the only one that's requested it, John.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And you know,
I'm sure
Maybe
a
it
lot of
doesn't
people
exist.
requested it.
maybe it doesn't exist.
That could be part of the magic trick, John.
Yeah, well, we never got to see mock pianos.
Maybe you know how some people fake their death, right? Right? You follow me? So maybe that's how she done it, bro. That way she get the money and run. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm just saying it ain't my story. I'm just watching it.
Yeah.
It's like a major car accident that you know you can't stop looking at. You know it's going to happen. You want to turn your head away, but you just can't watch. You just can't avoid watching the train wreck.
Oh,
Right.
so question everything that's out there, and they're working on an updated one, blah, blah, blah. But it ain't much. Let's just say that. Liabilities versus assets, it's like, yeah.
Question everything.
Put it this way. If you put all the assets of town together, that doesn't cover not even one augmentation pond. You see? Not even close. Not even maybe a third of the augmentation pond. Maybe not.
Yeah, but you also have to remember, good citizen, this is the same board that didn't even know that they had 3 police vehicles.
Oh yeah, they're getting ready to fire sale those though, so those don't count. We're gonna fire sale those. Yeah, we're gonna fire sale. We own a few vehicles. We're gonna fire sale those off. You know,
with or without the lights.
That's right, with or without. We got to figure that part out.
Listen, if we can get them with the lights, I'll take one.
Right, Adam probably buy one or two. So there we go. We got all 3 sold, right?
Yes, might.
Yeah, 300 each, right?
Maybe Adam can use some of that lawsuit money. Buy it.
Hey, I hear he's still getting paid. So, you know.
It's quite possible.
I know. I mean, hell. You never do know.
No, listen.
This guy says he can't get the letter.
As far as I could tell, there was a kid that quit months ago when they were still paying him 2 months afterwards. So who knows? Anything's possible.
Says he can't get the letter. So there it is. The letter may not exist. How about that?
Right.
The only one that said they saw it was Linda in her email.
Right.
Yeah.
Because remember, she said it was submitted on Friday and Monday. Well,
Monday
didn't look like there had been a letter submitted.
Well,
so maybe it don't exist.
It's possible. And then there's always that possibility that they allowed her to come in and clear her desk and turn in what cell phone that belonged to the town.
What about the keys and the passwords and oh my,
all the
many questions that they can't answer, right? They refuse to answer any of these simple questions.
Well, I'm still trying to figure out if Vern ever got his laptop. Did Vern ever get his laptop that they supposedly have?
Did you ever get a laptop?
Like, I could have swore we heard that there was a couple laptops running around for these fucking council members to use. I'm wondering if anybody, because I don't ever see any of them come in with their laptops. I mean, it would be a whole lot easier to have all that paperwork on a laptop.
Well, I'm going to have to request a copy of your hard drive, Vern. Don't delete anything.
What's up, Joko?
I don't understand where those were COVID computers, man. That was like from the COVID money they bought that. Where'd they spend all the rest of that COVID money, guys?
Which installment would that be? The first, second, third, or the new one that's coming up, the 4th one? Which installment was supposed to be used to do that?
Right. And these girls were there for all of it and won't tell you where none of it went.
Nope. They don't know where nothing is.
Nothing. They don't know nothing. Yeah, but we need them there, guys. We need them.
Yeah, kind of like those missing bank accounts, you know, the bank accounts that had routing numbers and account numbers that didn't match. You know?
Yeah, and the reconciliations are all fucked up. Like, oh man, it's bad.
Yeah. But they didn't. No, they had no clue that this was all going on. No,
none. Didn't see it coming. It's shock.
But they sure are helping with explaining how things are done in the office, though, right?
Yeah, they do a fairly good job of that, don't they?
Well, they explain things so well to Angela and
let me
Melissa.
rephrase that.
I mean, it makes so much sense.
Oh, the office reports in each meeting are fucking stellar, dude. Like, nothing left out for sure. Oh wait, they don't do office reports.
So hold on a second. So what time?
And remember, we pay them to be in those fucking meetings as well, guys. That's fucked up. We pay them to be in those meetings to know nothing and do nothing, right? What the fuck? I thought we was broke.
Well, we've got the maintenance guy who just pulled up in front on his motorcycle while his truck is still outside of the shop. I'm wondering why. Maybe he's on lunch break. It is 12. Maybe he's on lunch break. He's just out cruising the bike for his lunch break.
Got 2 hours a day, 20 hours a week, man.
Well, then what's he still doing there? What's he still doing there? I mean,
this is the same guy that has the no compete clause.
No, this is the other guy, the other guy that got hired on for maintenance, and I mean, he's a pretty cool guy. He seems like a pretty cool guy, but again, like, he's only supposed to be working 20 hours a week, and his truck is still out of the shop. He just rolled up on a bike. I'm just wondering what's going on. He's still in his vest too.
He ain't coming to open the bathrooms, I'll tell you that.
No, he ain't. No, them bathrooms are shut down.
Again?
No. Again.
Yeah, they're claiming for winter time now. So they shut them down for the winter time.
You might see it open for Aguilar Day next year.
You might.
Tremendous. Maybe.
Well, guys,
possibly.
It's been fun. We're at almost 2 hours. I appreciate you guys. Hey, before we go though, you know Jake Six is trying to top his record over there. He let this inmate just walk right out the door, guys. Like he's trying to get that escape number up so high. He's willing to just let him walk out the front door. You know, that's what I'm hearing. Anyways, supposedly, allegedly. Yeah, Bent County Jail can't hold inmates. That's what I hear. Don't send them there.
Right?
Nobody's hiring.
Hey, and let's not forget that our friend Deputy Sullen is due in court in California in October, and I think it's either October 7th or October 9th. He's doing Riverside Superior Court in California to talk about his 6 felony charges of assault and battery on a fellow LEO.
Oh man.
Get him.
Get him.
Oh, that blue line on blue line crime. What can you say about it, John? You know? Yeah, that's it, guys. We appreciate
you can say that one came away with one eye.
Yeah, one eye. One man enter, 2 man leave.
Well, Jake, I got my eye on you, buddy.
Unfortunately, your deputy doesn't anymore.
Right?
Hey, meeting tonight, 5 o'clock. Aguilar, be there, be square.
Yeah, don't forget, meeting tonight. Go check it out. Everybody, if you're in the chat, click the link. Go sub to Deputy. Show some support. Tell them we sent you. Have a wonderful day, everybody.
Later, guys.
It's the deadbeat.
Thanks for coming in, everybody. Stay safe. Peace.
As promised. Check me out. Goddamn, shit is real right now. It's got me to the point I'm in my fucking feels right now.
feeling deep and I got layers I should peel right now. But feeling stressed in a bitch, I need to chill right now. Cause I got weight that I carry, pain that I be facing. Got a million motherfuckers that would hate me if I make it. That's a grain of salt, I take it. Got a dream and I'ma chase it. Yeah, the fact is that we racing, but I'ma kill you with my patience. Let's face it, I'm that dude that's coming for that last spot. Walking with them shooters and them killers that be half-cocked. Most of y'all dress up in a costume like a mascot and talk about your money, but is you really getting cash, guap? I got dreams of superseding these lanes, but it takes a lot of work just to achieve in this game. Wish I was T Grizzly. They could blow up my first joint. It's gonna take me some effort. I'm just trying to prove a point, homie. I fucks with you and trust me, it's all love. But I guess I'm in a position I gotta get it from the mud. That's exactly what I'm going through. With everything I'm going through, spoken it for years, so I guess it's time I show and prove. But I got wisdom that's like talking to an older you that put you hip this shit like after years that you gon' notice too. That life will throw some shit at you and you gon' shoulder through. Learn the hard way to show love to those that show to you. You got a secret, then your heart is where you hold it to. So if you told your fam, there ain't no telling who we told it to. So never buy into them lies that they done sold to you. I'm trying to make it to the top, it got the coldest view. I see it all for where I'm at, this shit I noticed too. Like all them times you gave your word that I'm gonna hold you to. I know you hate me for them dreams that I done sold to you. But even with that shit said, ain't no one bogus you. Ain't that shit fucking with your conscience, bitch? I hope it do. And when you say my fucking name, I hope you choking too.